Hello everyone, today I make Japanese milk bread, shokupan. You heard about that? I will share with you how easy to make and it's a must make recipe. Why must make? Because it's very delicious to eat and fancy enough to give as a gift. Welcome to Saigoncook Travel. I am Saigoncook. On this channel, I share with you everything I know. Please subscribe for your support. Thank you. To make the bread so tender, I make Tangzhong first. What is Tangzhong? This is the mixture of flour and water, and you make into the paste and you add into your dough. So my recipe here is 40 grams of flour and 200 grams of water. I mixed it like so, and we will cook it on the stove. This is more than I need for this recipe, but I cook a lot for other recipe. It can rest on the counter for few days, or you can put in the fridge for a few days. So when you cook it and all the water evaporated and the mixture becomes thick like this, and you're done. Remove into the bowl and reserve. Now, the full recipe in the description box below. You can click on more under the video and it takes you there. So in my bowl right now, I have water and 1 egg. And now I add 160 grams of starter. So I have 60 grams of water and 1 egg so far. Egg is large, egg about 55 grams. You can get a little bigger, 60 grams, no big deal. And I add 80 grams of Tangzhong mixture that I made earlier. You can see I have leftover Tangzhong for other things. And you dump on in this corn. I call it wet ingredients. Now for the rice ingredient, I add 20 grams powder, milk powder, 40 grams of sugar, 5 grams of salt. You can add more salt, 6-8 grams, but don't eat salt too much. It's not good for the kidney to process. And I add the flours. So on the flour in this recipe, or for the Tangzhong, I use organic on purpose flour that I could buy at Costco. I don't have bread flour, but if you have fresh flour, it's good to use. The only thing I left behind is the butter. I will add the butter the last time when the dough out from the fridge for retarded. Now after 30 minutes of mixing, it means you mix and then you rest for 30 minutes. And now after 30 minutes, you take out and you do stretch and fold. My dough right now is very stiff, so I do not traditional, conventional stretch and fold. So I take out and roll just like whatever you do on the, I will do 3 4 sets of stretching foam, and each one apart from each other 30 minutes. But sometimes, I got away, I watched TV, I came back a little later or shorter, it doesn't make big deals. I have my schedule when, how I do that in the recipe written. Like I said in the description box, you can refer it for your reference. So this is my third I lost track. Stretch and fold. So the same thing. Very steep dough. Normally I make sourdough. I do more with higher hydration, and it's easier to stretch and fold, or even if very loose, I do coil fold. Each time you done stretch and fold, you cover and to rest 30 minutes apart. And now I am on the 4 stretch and fold. You see, the dough is not very sticky. You see, I put on the counter without any flour or oil or anything, but it's behaved very well. If any sticking happen, I have my bench scraper ready there to help me. So for the 4 stretch and fold, I do the same way like a shaping. I tuck it and fold, tuck it and fold. You see, I try to stretch my dough. That way, after the 4 stretch and fold, my dough develop the good structure for the good bread. Like I said, if it stick on the counter, you use your bench scraper and help it. Alright, now I'm let it rest on the counter to fermentation for about 4 hours. And then I cover and put it in the fridge. And this is the next day I took out. And here in my bowl is the butter. The temperature now is winter outside, so it's a little cold for the butter to soften on the counter. So I place the butter in the water bath a little hot so that it's softened. While it's doing its thing to soften, I stretch my dough into the rectangle as good as I could, like so, and then now I spread the butter. Normally people will use the butter in the dough when they mix, but I wait at the last minute like this. My purpose is to make just like you make a pastry dough. You spread the butter inside and make layer for the dough to make more layer. So that means add of my spreading like this. When the bread came out, it will have flaky layer dough, and that's what we like it to. I don't know if you can understand what I say, but like I said, when you make puff pastry dough, you layer your butter inside the dough, and you make it many layer as much as possible, as many as possible. So I do like so that the butter lay in many layer of bread. Now at this point, you can divide the dough. If you use the small mold, sandwich mold, the Pullman like I do, I will divide the dough into 3. But if your mold is bigger, you can divide it into 5. But after I roll it like this, I let it rest for 10 minutes and I go prepare the mold. So you can just use butter, oil or something to spread underneath, but I use a parchment paper that I used back my bread the first time. I reuse the parchment paper because they just as good. It's just used one time, and although the color have different color, but it's still good to use another time. How about saving the planet or saving our bank? Now for my dough, I take about a small piece, like I weighted it 65 grams. I will make it into a ramekin, so that after I'm done baking, I eat that and taste it. The big loaf I will give away to the neighbor. So I divided the dough into 3, and I weighted it about 120 or 220. I forgot the number in front. But anyway, you divide the dough into 3. I like to make it very precise, so I weigh them, but you can just eyeball. Now I try to roll it into rectangle and then fold it back. When you fold it, try to hide the butter inside. And I go to the other side and make, you can see the butter wanted to slip out, but you tuck in. And that's it for the first. And now I do other 2 pieces of dough the same way, roll into rectangle and then roll the lengthwise back up and seal them together, and then start rolling from the long end, and you make a roll, and they are like that and ready for the mold. So bear with me, you can skip this roll in the third one because you do the same way. Or if you don't care so much time, you can just watch me. This is the recipe I make so easy, and you can get the success guarantee. So I'm very careful to show you everything I do. But if you think it's too long and you understood, then you can fast forward your device, and I will meet you on the next step. So I am rolling the third one right now. You see, like I said, the dough behave very well. It don't stick to the counter much. Now I already prepared the mold. Now I choose the biggest one. You see, although you divide it, you weigh the dough equally, but when you roll and when the dough will rise, they are all different. So I chose the biggest look in the middle, and the other two at the two sides. So you rub in, cover, and let it proof until it reach the tops of your mold. Right now, like I said, the winter, and in our house about 66 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's pretty cold. So I put some boiling water in the microwave to help the dough rise. Now I shape the small one the same way that I did with the Pullman. So this is the ramekin. It has a round shape, so I will make it a round dough, like so. And I will, dip it into oil and place it in the ramekin. That way, when it's back, it's easy to take out. To make it more nice appearance, I use one egg yolk. So right now my dough already risen to the top of the mold, almost like a half an inch left. And I brush the egg yolk onto the dough to make it shiny golden brown when we bake. Now I preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I guess the Google will translate converted this degree into 220 Celsius. But please make sure it is, because you don't need too hot to bake this bread. Alright, now the oven is ready, and I bake it for 30 minutes. You can bake a little less if you want less golden. My oven is very good, so it can take only 28 minutes. And they came out perfectly. And I spread some butter on top to make it shiny, and so that the air don't make them dry. So this is I will remove from the mold. It's easy because we already have prepared the bottom of the ramekin and the mold. So it's easy to come out. You can see. I think this look good enough for giving to our neighbor. Don't you think so? Let me flip it over. All right. Are you glad if I give you this one? Now, let's make a taste test with my small one. You see, you can go around with a small knife and remove easily from the mold. And I have my chamomile tea ready. You are invited to taste test with me. Let me open the bread and you will see. Remember that I didn't use milk. I used 60 grams of water, but you can use milk or cream or half and half for richer purpose. I don't have milk cream on hand, so that I use water. But I use powder, milk powder, intensify it. You can see the bread is crispy inside, a little crunchy. I guess that because of the sugar and the eggs coated and the inside tender, fluffy. I think this is a recipe you should do, and I think that a must make recipe. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share my video. I hope you like it, and I see you next time. Bye bye.